Oh, Canada, the Winnipeg Jets and Montreal Canadiens matching up in round two, just like everybody predicted. That's Shane Kelly and Aaron Ward. I'm David Pagnotta. Our playoff coverage brought to you by Bitbuy, Canada's #1 cryptocurrency platform. Wardo, let's start with you here. I mean, like I said, everybody expected this to be the matchup, right? What are we going to see in this series?
Yeah, if you said this was in fact a matchup, you're an absolute liar, and that's the amazing part of this. And the reason why, if you look at it, is because these two teams managed to shut out or shut down three of the top four scorers in the regular season. These teams are basically built around their goaltending right now. I mean, you got Hellebuck, who's top in goals against and top in save percentage through the playoffs, and Carey Price. If you look from an inspirational standpoint, he's got a team playing with a high level of confidence and believing they can do just about anything after knocking off the top seed. From a special teams perspective, Winnipeg fourth in the power play through the playoffs, and Montreal counters with a #2 penalty kill. So overall, I mean, do I expect a shootout? No, neither team has a guy in the top 35 in scoring. But that being said, because we know the playoffs make no sense, especially in the North, I expect all these games to be high scoring.
Yeah, Wardo, you hit the nail on the head with the goaltending for sure. I mean, Carey Price during the regular season was either league average or slightly below league average, whether you look at goals saved above average, just regular save percentage, expected save percentage, rebound control. You know, he wasn't the Carey Price that we saw for that 7 games. So I'll be really curious to see, is that 7 game Carey Price sustainable, or are the Jets going to have a big edge in the goaltending department?
Well, it'll be interesting also when you start looking at these two teams is given the fact that Paul Maurice looks at his lineup and Ehlers is back, and he has a full array of players up front, how does Montreal manage their decor? Based on what they did in the Toronto series, they basically played 4 guys. They kind of platoon in Gustafsson and Kulak. So for them, they've got to make a really hard decision. Do they trust the young guys against this parity kind of driven forward core that Winnipeg Jets have?
It's funny you say that. I mean, everyone says, oh, they trusted 4 guys, and here they are in the second round. Well, they trusted 4 guys, and the Leafs dominated them in shooting, in scoring chances, in slot shots, in expected goals. You know, it's not just the advanced stats that say that the Leafs rang up a ton of scoring chances. Like, pick any stat you want. So, yeah, they rode 4 guys, but they also rode their luck a ton. So I'll be really curious to see how, you know, those guys can stand up to another workload on top of what they just had, especially since, frankly, it didn't go all that well.
What about Montreal's depth that they bring? Is that going to be a challenge for the Winnipeg Jets? Because, you know, we saw with the Oilers, it was effectively one line that they were able to shut down, and that powered them past. But Montreal seems to be a little bit deeper overall in terms of their second, third, and fourth units. Is that going to be a bit of a challenge for Winnipeg?
I think for Winnipeg, they've got to look at this overall situation and make a determination of what failed for Toronto, right? So Toronto's basically built down the middle. Montreal played a very patient game. They waited. Now, again, Winnipeg plays a different style. Stylistically, they're more of a, I mean, they're in your face, go. They're not straight up finesse, where I would say that's the more of the build of the Toronto Maple Leafs. So I think for Winnipeg, they've got to be who they are. They got to play to their identity, and again, make Montreal and Ducharme adjust to the play of the Winnipeg Jets, because we all know that Ducharme did a very good job come game 5, 6, and 7 of establishing any type of possession, whatever they could muster out, by getting to the red line, waiting for a challenge, dumping it in, and retrieving it. Where the first 4 games, I mean, they're awful, they're horrible in terms of trying to get any sustained pressure in the offensive zone.
Yeah, I'll be curious to see what this Montreal team does as far as the forward group, because during the regular season, they were a high puck possession team. They took a lot of shots from just about anywhere. And that was also the last 2 years during Claude Julien as well. So this was a real deviation, that 7 game series against the Leafs, from what they've done the rest of the season. So are they going to stick with that system that Wardo just described, or are they going to go back to the way they've played for the better part of 3 years? And as far as the Jets go, I mean, they were one of the best forechecks during the regular season in the whole of the NHL. So, you know, this idea that the Leafs played a possession-heavy style and that played right into the hands of the Canadiens, that's not the way that this Jets team plays.
Well, game one gets underway pretty soon here, and I'll throw this one stat at you. Since 2001, there have been 5 series in which a team that has swept the previous round goes on to play a team that went 7. Of those 5 series, the team that went 7 has won all 5. This applies not only to this series, but also Colorado and Vegas. And you know, the team that swept had a pretty good start in that one. We'll see how this one unfolds.